again, everybody. It's Todd Sturridge, the Horror Nerd, here at New Jersey HorrorCon and Film Festival. Day 2 of the convention, and it is jumping. The celebrity room here is crowded. I am having a blast. I'm about to have an even better time because I have the honor of standing here with Mr. G. Tom Mac. How are you, sir?
I'm well, mate. Thanks. Thanks for having me.
Good. How's the convention been for you so far?
It's been great, and there's nothing better than being able to meet people. You know, when I go out and perform live, it's really just you do a show and you meet a few people. But we're coming to do these things, which is fantastic because you really have, get proper interaction with the crowd, on a personal level,
Oh, absolutely. I'm really just a fan at heart. So the fact that I get to meet my heroes, my musical heroes, my horror heroes, it really is a thrill for me. So I'm having a bit of a fanboy moment.
Well, so go at it.
So I want to, obviously the Lost Boys, right? Cry Little Sister became the soundtrack, right?
Yeah.
So back then, did any of you have any inkling that this many years later people would still be lining up to talk about this movie?
All I knew is when Joel Schumacher, the director, sent me a script saying, he said, I'd love you to write, rang me up, he said, I'd love you to write the theme song to this film called Lost Boys. And I said, well, when can I take a look at it? And he said, well, we're filming right now, but if I send you a script, maybe you'll get some inspiration for it, And I thought, okay. I'd probably done about 11 movies up to that point, Fast Times at Ridgemont High and other 80s films. And he sent me on the script, and I read it one night. I went, wow, this is really cool. And I wrote the song by reading the script, thinking he said to me, just be whatever you be, as free as you want with this. Okay, that could be dangerous. So I just went at it and wrote the song in 3 hours the next day, and went to my studio, made a demo, and had it done by that night. And
wow.
Sent it off to him, and a few days later he said, you nailed it. I'm playing it on set, and it was the first time I'd ever read a script and written a song, So, but to answer your question, no idea I just knew that I loved it. When I went out to watch the film, when we were placing the song in the film, it looked nothing like what I thought it was going to be. Because when you're reading a script, you've got your own imagination.
Sure. And you don't know what the director's vision is going to be at the time, right? Yeah.
And I loved it. I thought, wow, I love it. I didn't think about it's just going to be a hit movie or anything. It was a lot of new actors and actresses in the film, and so it just took me by surprise. And it did modestly that summer of '87 when it came out. Got well reviewed. It wasn't until the VHS kick in and when it became a very cult-followed film, but not so cult anymore. Because
right.
And the interesting thing was, people knew my song but didn't know the movie. In the '90s, I'm going well, you have to. There's a great movie to watch, So it's carried its weight really well over time.
Absolutely, absolutely. Listen, I'm a child of the '80s, so all those movies, like you mentioned, your music is really like the soundtrack and the visual track, I guess, of my life, my childhood. So
I'm happy to be part of it.
Absolutely. So music is a big part of my life, and I love the way music can make us feel. If you're having a bad day, it can make you feel good. If you're feeling angry, it can feed that.
It has many different facets to it.
Right. So I'm always curious about the process. So how does inspiration strike, Tom? Did you sit bolt upright in the middle of the night and think, I have a melody in my head, I better jot that down?
Sometimes.
Or do you have a process where you say, I need to write today,
There's no real process. I just stay at it. I'm always thinking or feeling some emotion or a thought about how a vibe of a melody could work, and it's just been, I float in so many different areas of music, from things like Cry Little Sister to hip-hop. I wrote a song for Ice Cube's The Players Club, which was a classic little, black movie that just was fantastic, and it asked me to come up with a basic opening theme to the film, and we had Casey and JoJo come in and sing it. But I I love not being bored, you know, and I want to just keep. I love challenges. I like to go. I'm doing a musical right now called "Don't Forget About Me" with Paul Brooks, the producer that did Pitch Perfect, and I'm really it was an idea I came up with, and it's very challenging. It's the 80s.
Right.
It's about pen pals in the 80s, London, New York, and LA. 6 different characters connect, and they basically change each other's lives in their last year of high school.
Wow, that's cool. Pen pals, like you said, that there's going to be like younger people that'll have no idea what a pen pal is.
It was social
I had
media.
one when I was in high school. I had a pen pal in Germany. Right, and we wrote back and forth, and we both were stamp collectors, so we would send stamps back and forth. So it was fun.
It was a pivot. I did my research, and the 80s were a period of time where that was sort of the end of really like the heavy-duty pen paling, because the world was opening up a lot more then, you know, and that's why I picked London, New York, and LA, 3 places I live, and I just felt that connect of, especially being in the coming of age of that period. Yeah, it was their social media. That was what it was.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of work, and there's a good crew that put together to make this film, so I'm pleased with it.
Nice. I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be another year and a half before it comes out, but yeah.
Cool. So, Tom, before I leave you be, do you have any final words, any other projects you'd like to share with the fans that you can talk to us about?
Well,
let's go.
I just released an album called Lost 1987 album, which was around the time I did Cry Little Sister, I thought, you know, I should really stay in the vein of what I want to make an album that has all of those cohesiveness of what Cry Little Sister has. So I never released it, and basically I decided I remixed some of the tracks, and I looked back at it, I went, wow, this was pretty good. I did not listen to it for the longest time. So that's now up on Spotify, and so yeah, stream it all you want. I'm very proud of it. And there's a documentary called How Did I Get Here, which is based on my life and career, and how did I get here? How the fuck did I get here? And I ask myself sometimes.
I think we all think about that from time to time,
that's
right?
The whole purpose of the film is not to be all about me. It is my story, but it's also an inspirational one to everybody and their journey, if you will.
Great. Tom, thank you so much for a few minutes of your time. G-Tom, my apologies.
People go, G. I changed my name because nobody could ever pronounce Gerard McMahon. It was either Gerald or McMahon. I mean, and I did it on an album called G-Tom Mac years ago. I just made an album, and it was one of those things that blew up. Nobody knew who G-Tom Mac was, but it was licensed to many TV shows and films and what have you. So here I am.
If I had
G-Tom Mac.
G-Tom Mac, everybody. If I had a shred of a brain, I would have asked you ahead of time, how do you prefer to be addressed?
No.
I almost used your full
You
name.
can go G or G-Tom.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. Well, G-Tom, thanks again for a few minutes of your time.
My pleasure, mate.
I appreciate it. Best of luck with all your future endeavors.
Yeah, thank
and I hope you have a great time at the rest of the
I'm having a great
convention.
time. Horror Hound, New Jersey, Horror Hound. You've done me well. Love
Fantastic.
all of you.
Thanks again, everybody, for watching. This is Todd Staruch, the Horror Nerd, signing off from New Jersey HorrorCon and Film Festival. We will see all of you in the next interview.